Hi, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are going to talk about AWS Storage Gateway. So AWS Storage Gateway is a hybrid storage service that enables your on-premise applications to seamlessly use AWS cloud storage. So far we have been discussing about lots of storage file systems, S3, Glacier, so on and so forth. But now in this lecture, we are going to talk about how to connect those storage services with our on-premise applications or our on-premise in computers instances. So you can use this service for backing up and archiving. You can use it for disaster recovery. You can use it for cloud data processing, storage tiering, and migration. So your applications can connect to the service through a virtual machine or a hardware gateway appliance using standard storage protocols such as NFS, SMB, and iSCSI. The gateway connects to AWS storage services like we discussed all sorts of storage services like S3, Amazon Glacier, Amazon EBS, or EFS, and all these things can be seamlessly integrated with your existing on-premise applications. Now moving on to the AWS Storage Gateway architecture. So basically we have to just install a virtual machine on our on-premise or maybe on our EC2 AWS EC2 instances, and that will enable us to do some caching on our local machine or on our EC2 instance, wherein your most recent data will be stored for the immediate usage, and the rest will be backed up in our S3 or EFS or any other volume types that we have used for our use case. So if it also offers local storage with highly optimized connectivity to AWS cloud storage, so you can use the service, as I mentioned, for backing up, archiving, disaster recovery. One of the best use case that I have seen so far is for the storage tiering, which means that let's say you have a network file storage or network file storage where your organization is keeping lots of information. They are just dumping all the archival information and lots of types of data they are storing. Now it could be taped backup or some or maybe something that you want to utilize maybe in 6 months of time or 7 months of time, or maybe because of the compliant and regulatory requirement you want to just keep it for some certain years. So instead of using your tape drives and your expensive hard drives on your on-premise, you can actually bring up the storage gateway. You can connect it with your existing environment, and then you can start dumping all that information in your Glacier or on your S3, and then from your S3 you can actually create a life cycle so that after a certain period of time the same data will migrate to the less costly storage and then move on to Glacier. While you want to retrieve the data, you can always go back and initiate a retrieval. So if the data is in the Glacier, it will take some more time to get retrieved. Otherwise, if it is on the S3 or on the S3IA, it will get retrieved very quickly. However, the data that your users are actually accessing in a very frequent way, for that particular use case, AWS Storage Gateway provides you with certain amount of cache storage where it keeps the most recently used data for quick retrieval. So that is how AWS Storage Gateway is highly integrated with your cloud EC2 instances, with your on-premise compute and applications. It is simple to download and install on a virtual machine, or you can directly deploy the dedicated hardware appliance. The performance is very clinical. AWS Storage Gateway, as I mentioned earlier, it caches the data in the local VM or the hardware gateway appliance, providing low latency disk and network performance for your most active data, with optimized data transfer occurring to AWS cloud storage tiers in the background. Users and appliance continue to operate using the local storage model while you take advantage of cloud backend. So as I mentioned, lots of things happens at the backend. If you are trying to access a older data which has been archived in the Glacier using the AWS Storage Gateway, it might take some time. However, if it is in the S3, it gets retrieved quickly but let's say if you are using a certain amount of data very frequently, those data will get cached on the software or the virtual machine appliance, and that can be accessed very optimally and very quickly. It is very durable and secure, and since it is a cloud storage, it is highly scalable. So overall, it is a way how you connect your cloud storage with your on-premise data center and with your applications, and in a way you can utilize the best of both worlds. So hope this lecture was useful for you, and you have been able to understand how to connect various storage types or various storage services of AWS with your cloud, as well as on your on-premise infrastructure and data centers. So we'll see you in the next lecture. Hope this lecture was useful. Thanks.